Welcome to Reading Lesson Part 2 for the book, What If You Had Animal Feet by Sandra Markle, illustrated by Howard McWilliam. Developed by the Elementary Curriculum and Development Office, Literacy TDS. Let's review the genre of informational text. Informational text is nonfiction. It gives us facts about a topic. The purpose is to inform about a topic or central idea. Informational text includes details about the central idea, such as facts, examples, and evidence. For example, the human eye is made up of more than 2 million parts. It gives us text features such as headings, captions, labels, lists, and bold or italic words. It includes graphic features such as charts, maps, diagrams, timelines, sidebars, photos, and illustrations. You see an illustration of an eye, and they've pointed out on the diagram the pupil and the iris. It also is organized in text structure, such as sequence, compare and contrast, cause and effect, or problem and solution. It includes content area words that relate to the topic, such as vision and optical, when our topic is an eye. Today we're going to look at central idea. And we ask ourselves, what is central idea? Central idea is what the text is mostly about. In informational text, we look for text clues such as headings, visuals, the first or last sentence, and repeated words. We evaluate details to determine key ideas that support the central idea, such as examples, facts, evidence, and description. We use all of these details combined to develop a central idea statement. Today we'll look at a strategy for determining the central idea. There are 4 steps to this strategy. Step 1. Look at the title for hints and clues. Step 2. Read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? Step 3. Circle the words and ideas repeated throughout the text. Underline the first and last sentence. Step 4. Decide what the author thinks is most important, the details, and compose your central idea statement. Let's look back at our read aloud text from lesson 1. We read about the green basilisk lizard. Step 1 asks us to look at the title for hints and clues. So here we know green basilisk lizard will be our title. And we'll say, I think the text will be about lizards. Step 2. Read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? A green basilisk lizard's back feet have long toes fringed with skin. This fringe spreads out when it slaps its foot down. When it slaps its foot on water, air becomes trapped under each toe. And when it runs fast, this keeps the lizard on the surface for at least 15 feet. What does the author want me to know? I think the author wants me to know about the lizard's feet. Step 3. Circle words and ideas repeated throughout the text. Underline the first and last sentence. Words and ideas repeated throughout this text are lizard, feet, foot, toe, and we're underlining the first and last sentence. A green basilisk lizard's back feet have long toes fringed with skin. And the last sentence, and when it runs fast, this keeps the lizard on the surface for at least 15 feet. I think the author wants me to know about the lizard's feet. And step 4, decide what the author thinks is most important, the details, and compose your central idea statement. So we know that we think the author wants us to know about the green basilisk lizard's feet. The green basilisk lizard has special feet that keep him afloat while walking on the water's surface. This is our central idea statement. Today we're going to continue using the same text that we did our read aloud. What if you had animal feet? There are some words to know throughout this text. Sole, sprint, snowshoe, segment. The word sole is a noun that means the undersurface of a foot. The sole of his foot was black and dirty. The word sprint. Sprint is a verb that means run at full speed over a short distance. I saw Charlie sprinting through the traffic toward me. The word snowshoe. Snowshoe is a noun that means a flat surface resembling a racket, which is attached to the sole of a boot and used for walking on snow. The snowshoes fit snugly over his boots. And the word segment. Segment is a noun that means each of the parts in which something is or may be divided. The caterpillar's body is divided into several segments. So I'll model the first one for you. We're going to look at the eastern gray kangaroo. Step 1 asks us to look at the title for hints and clues. So we're going to circle our title, Eastern Gray Kangaroo. Step 2 says, read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? An eastern gray kangaroo's hind feet are super big. Just the sole of an adult's foot can be 18 inches long. Big feet help a kangaroo jump about 30 feet in a single hop. Each huge jump means a kangaroo can cover a lot of ground fast. Step 3 says circle words and ideas repeated throughout the text. Underline the first and last sentence. As I read, the words that kept repeating were kangaroo, feet, over and over. And we're going to underline the first and last sentence. An eastern gray kangaroo's hind feet are super big. Just the sole of an adult's foot can be 18 inches long. And the last sentence. Each huge jump means a kangaroo can cover a lot of ground fast. And step 4 says decide what the author thinks is most important, details, and compose your central idea statement. We're going to use this graphic organizer shaped as a table. Each leg represents a supporting detail, and then the top of the table will be our central idea statement. So from the text, we took supporting detail 1. The eastern gray kangaroo's hind feet are super big. We took supporting detail 2. The eastern gray kangaroo's hop covers a lot of ground quickly. And we looked at supporting detail 3. The eastern gray kangaroo can jump about 30 feet in a single hop. So we're going to take supporting detail 1, supporting detail 2, and supporting detail 3 to combine to create a central idea statement. Our central idea statement is the eastern gray kangaroo has big hind feet that allow it to jump really far and get to its destination quickly. Let's try one together. Let's look back at the cheetah. Step 1 asks us to look at the title for hints and clues. And step 2 says, read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? Cheetah. A cheetah's foot is made up of soft pads, a center one, and toe pads plus nails. Shaped like that, it has a new name. Instead of a foot, it's called a paw. A cheetah's paw pads are tough and ridged like tire treads, and the cheetah's sturdy nails act like cleats. So, its paws keep it from slipping during super fast sprints. These amazing paws help a cheetah run as fast as 70 miles per hour. That's faster than any other land animal. So step 3 asks us to circle words and ideas repeated throughout the text and underline the first and last sentence. So our reading should look like this. We've underlined the title. We've circled the title, cheetah. The repeated words and ideas are cheetah's foot, paw, cheetah's paw, cheetah, paws. And we're going to underline the first and last sentence. Cheetah's foot is made up of soft pads, a center one, and toe pads plus nails. And the last sentence, that's faster than any other land animal. Then we're going to move to step 4. Step 4 asks us to decide what the author thinks is most important, the details, and compose a central idea statement. So let's look for supporting detail 1. Supporting detail 1, the cheetah's foot, called a paw, is made up of soft pads and nails. Supporting detail 2, the cheetah's ridged tread like paws help the cheetah run faster. And supporting detail 3, the cheetah has sturdy nails that act like cleats. We're going to take supporting detail 1, supporting detail 2, and supporting detail 3 to help us compose a central idea statement. So our central idea statement for cheetah is, the cheetah's paws are specially designed to help him run as fast as 70 miles per hour. Now it's your turn. Independent practice. We're going to look back at the gray wolf. And remember, step 1 wants us to look at the title for hints and clues. Step 2 wants us to read the text and determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? A gray wolf's feet are called paws too. When crossing snow, a gray wolf's toes separate and stretch apart. That makes its paws bigger and, like wearing snowshoes, spreads out its weight. This means its paws don't sink in as deep, which make walking and running easier. So step 3, circle all the words and ideas repeated throughout the text. And go ahead and underline the first and last sentence. And now we're going to use the graphic organizer to help us complete step 4. Step 4 is decide what the author thinks is most important, the details, and compose your central idea statement. So go back and look for supporting detail 1. Go back and look for supporting detail 2. Go back and look for supporting detail 3. And use all 3 of these details to help you compose a central idea statement. Okay, let's take a minute to think about your supporting details and write your central idea statement. Giant African millipede. So, let's look at step 1. Step 1 asks us to look at the title for hints and clues. And then step 2 wants you to read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? A giant African millipede's body is made up of segments. A baby starts out with just 4 or 5 segments, but as it grows, it adds on more. Each segment has about 4 feet. An adult may be 40 segments long with lots of feet, and it needs every single one. It can travel by tunneling through the ground. So, while some feet are busy walking, others move dirt out of its way. So, step 3 asks us to circle words and ideas repeated throughout the text and underline the first and last sentence. And then, just like before, we're going to use the graphic organizer to help us complete step 4. Step 4 says decide what the author thinks is most important, the details, and compose your central idea statement. So you're going to go back into the text and find supporting detail 1, supporting detail 2, and supporting detail 3. After you find all of your supporting details, you're going to compose your central idea statement about the giant African millipede. In conclusion, let's review. Today we learned how to determine central idea using a 4-step strategy. The first step, look for the title for hints and clues. Step 2, read the text to determine the topic and ask yourself, what does the author want me to know? Step 3, look for words and ideas repeated through the text. Read the first and last statement. And we're going to circle these words and ideas and underline the first and last sentence. And number 4, decide what the author thinks is most important and compose your central idea statement. Now, let's complete a reading response activity. As we read this book about animal feet, we learned about all different types of animals and things that made their feet unique. Today we're going to talk about some different animals. On this writing prompt, we have pictures of a cat, impala, rabbit, muskrat, hippo, coyote, raccoon, deer, leopard, elephant, beaver, cow, cheetah, lion, bear, moose, otter, rhino, opossum, dog, fox, hare, weasel, and squirrel. Take a minute to look at all of the different animal feet and what makes them unique. Today you're going to write a short paragraph about a time you discovered some animal tracks. And you're going to be sure to include what were the tracks shaped like, and what way were the tracks going, and what animal do you think left the tracks. You can also include a time when you found animal tracks and where you found them. This writing is totally up to you and how you make it come alive. To help you organize your writing, we're going to ask ourselves, what will help me organize my writing? You can brainstorm places you can go to see tracks. Maybe you've been to the Arboretum, to Bel Air Nature Center, the woods in the country by your pawpaw's house, outside in your yard, or maybe you've even seen tracks at school on the playground. You can list any animal prints you may see, such as a squirrel, a rabbit, a dog, a possum, a raccoon, a cat, or a cow. I'm going to need you to pause the video now to be able to get a piece of paper so that you can complete your writing assignment. If you have a journal or a place where you keep your writing, that'll be fine. If you don't, just get a sheet of paper and go ahead and brainstorm places you can see tracks and maybe any kind of animal prints you may see or that you may want to see. This is an example of a third grader's writing sample. It says, I went to a birthday party at Bel Air Nature Center. The lady took us on a hike to look for animal tracks. We saw tracks from squirrels, raccoons, and opossums. I think I even saw a coyote track in the mud. So, good luck with your writing. And again, if you would like to read more books from this series, check out these titles. What if you had animal hair? What if you had animal ears? What if you had an animal nose? What if you had animal teeth? What if you had an animal tail? And what if you had animal eyes? Happy reading, happy writing, and thank you for joining us.